We are live. What is going on, everyone? Thank you all so very much for being here. Everyone tune in at this time. We greatly appreciate it. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And what is going on, Jake? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm freezing. I'm cold right now. I'm like
Dude, I know it
shivering.
is chilly. It's like insanely chilly.
Yeah, and I'm excited because my beard is finally coming in. So
Hey, look
yeah.
at you. You're becoming a man. I can't grow facial hair, so it's fine.
How about you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm wonderful. Tired, working, busy, but that's life. It's called being an adult. That's
Right.
how it goes. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. Outside of that, we here doing this thing. Um, let's dive right into it. So the uh, the Lakers, they got a good win since the last time we did a live stream, and then they got a bad loss. Uh, well, I mean, every loss at this point now, with what, 7 games left, is a bad loss. But got the Thunder win. That
Yeah.
was huge. That was massive. Anthony Davis was best player in the world. Anthony Davis that game, he was monster, which is good because that gave us a tiebreaker against them, and then it also got us to 500 finally.
Yeah.
Finally got to 500, and then we gave it back against the Bulls and Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly did it, but on some bright notes, one, the Bulls played about as good of a game as possible, and Lakers played about as bad of a game as possible, and we still, at several points in that game, felt like we had a real chance to come back and win that game.
Yeah.
We just couldn't. We just couldn't strain a run together. Like we'd go on like a 10-2 run, and then like we'd immediately follow that with like an 8-0 run for the Bulls, right? And it was just
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Like every time we'd get it to like 4, and then they push it to 12 again, and then we'd get it to 6, and then they push it to 20 again. And it's like, God. But hey, you have your good games, you have your bad games. LeBron came back, which was surprising. Super
I
surprising.
know he was a game early.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
from what
because
like me and you and well really what you predicted. Yeah, he was like a game early. I found that interesting.
yeah. I mean, well, I figured. I mean, I was saying because I had a lot of people that were like, "Man, you called it," and it was like, it just was based on things that like LeBron said. Like, we joke around, Laker Damas.
Yeah.
I'm the Laker whisperer. I'll be just like predicting stuff, but no, it's just keeping my ear to the ground and and kind of just seeing like, okay, well, what is he actually doing right now? Okay, he's already up on doing 3 a days, right? So he's
Yeah.
already ramping up his workouts. He's already doing well. So he shouldn't be out that much longer. When do we have games? Oh, we have the two Bulls games and then the Timberwolves game, which Timberwolves game might be one of the most important games we could play this year. And it was like, that's probably when he comes. And the only reason I really thought the second Bulls game, because I was saying, I think he could come back at the Bulls games. Best case scenario comes back to this first Bulls game.
Yeah.
The only reason I thought he could come back to this, or he would come back for the second Bulls game, is because we had 3 days rest in between those games. So
Yeah.
I thought maybe he wouldn't play the first Bulls game, let them finish the homestand, and then he would come back for that road trip because we got 5 games on the road, and that would give him an extra like week of rest essentially. Um, so that was kind of my thought process. But I'm glad he came back early. And look, I said this, and then of course I want to hear your thoughts. I said this on my individual channel, and I was like, I would rather LeBron come back this Bulls game, have a terrible game, lose this game, than have this same circumstance happen with like 4 games left and we
Yeah.
have to win all 4 of those games, right? Because you saw like LeBron wasn't the problem. Like LeBron was far from the problem, but he had some rust. He had some bad moments. He forced passes a little too much. He,
Yeah.
he didn't have his step and stuff. And it'll probably take him a game or two to get back into the flow. I mean, LeBron even said it uh, in the post game. He was like, I felt good, but I'm not in rhythm yet. He's got to
Yeah.
get that rhythm. And right now, we lost this game. It sucks, but we still have 7 games. D'Lo should hopefully be back for the Bulls game, which will help tremendously also. But now we got the rusty game, the one where everyone played terrible. The Bulls played the best that they possibly could play. It was a rough game. LeBron got his workout, gets his legs under him. Now you'll have 3 days, kind of get your workout going, do some scrimmages, do some team workouts and stuff, start building some chemistry. And now we have 7 games for LeBron to get back ready. And basically, we got rid of the scrap game, right?
Yeah.
Where we probably would have had a scrap game, towards the end of the season, which that might be more impactful of a loss, right? Like, what
Yeah.
if this was the Minnesota game, right? Now that would, like, losing to the Bulls sucks, yeah, but it's not as impactful as if let's say LeBron came back to the Timberwolves game and we got smacked by the Timberwolves. That
Yeah.
would have been a lot more impactful, a lot more. So I didn't mind this, but what are your thoughts?
Um, See, in the last game too, like with the Bulls, it wasn't like a great all around game from really nobody. But like
Yeah,
it was still, everybody was still, fairly doing their job, getting rebounds, getting assists. Um, I just, I don't know. It's concerning. Like man, it's just one of those games that you say like we needed to win that one. You know what I mean? Like we really need to win that game
absolutely. I
because
mean,
we
we
had
need to
like we
win
had,
every game
well, yeah,
right
I
now.
know, but like we hit, we had just hit 500, right? Coming off that Thunder game, like it was a nice little, momentum boost for us. And losing that game put us back in the ninth seed, and now we're gonna have to scrap and claw, like for sure, for sure. Like we have to, like you said, like win every game. So, no, I think that I'm hoping LeBron just needed, like you said, just one game, one actual, because it's different from like running 30 days, doing scrimmages against your own teammates where
Yeah.
everybody is, you would like everybody to be going 110%, but it's nothing, it's going to be nothing compared to like, you know, like, like the actual team you're playing, which I honestly thought, me personally, I called us winning both of those Bulls games because I thought the Bulls were just going to roll over just because of where they're at and their standings anyway. I think that they're going to really try to like, put us away or anything like that. I will say we got to go to Chicago next Bulls game.
Yes, Wednesday.
So looking at that, I think LeBron will come out and just shoot the lights out. I think he'll come back strong. I think AD will come back strong. It was just a weird game, like you said. It was just a weird game, and maybe we don't have
Well, and
D'Lo.
80 got into foul trouble early, so that
Yeah,
didn't
it
help. Like,
like
it was a bad game. I mean, you
well,
said
yeah,
it right. It was a bad game. They happen.
everybody was off their momentum. The transitions were really weird. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah.
normally really good in transition, like ball, but like it was weird. Like it was just almost like everybody was kind of like not hesitant, but just it was just clunky. It was clunky. But coming, like I'm really glad we have the Bulls before we have the Timberwolves because we just seen this team. You know what I mean? So like I feel like let's make the adjustments we need and then let's really, really show up against Minnesota because that's a game that's not going to be an easy dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not concerned about LeBron. To answer your question, I'm not concerned about LeBron at all. I think he'll be fine. Like I said, it's one game. We needed it, but again, it's just one game.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. I think he just needs to kind of like ease his way back and everything. Yeah, we'll get D'Lo back, and it's it's gonna be a dogfight, but I think we'll be able to get him.
Well,
So
also, kind of sticking with LeBron is that so, like, look, I thought was interesting. So LeBron said that he talked to 2 doctors, and they told him that he tore a tendon in his foot, and that he
yeah,
needed season-ending surgery. And then,
mhm.
as he put it, he went and saw the LeBron James of doctors, and they were able to basically fix him in order for him to play. But he still may need surgery. And he said if he gets surgery in the offseason, no one will know about it, but he will be ready for the next season. So I'm curious if because Dennis Schroeder said something interesting
Yeah,
like a week or so ago, and we even talked about it here. Dennis Schroeder said that like they asked him about LeBron or whatever and him doing 3 days and all that stuff. And Dennis Schroeder said, yeah, those German doctors are pretty good or something along those lines. So I wonder if the LeBron James, the doctors is one of those German doctors, because they're in Germany, like they do like stem cell, stuff and all kinds of things,
Well, yeah, I
right?
was gonna say some of the best doctors are in Germany and other like the other parts of the world. Like
Yeah.
I think
Well,
like
and I mean, like Kobe's
overseas
gone
and
there, Dwayne Wade's gone there. I mean, there's a
yeah,
lot of
overseas is
people.
where it's at for sure.
Yeah. So like my one like sort of thought process with that is like, I wonder if that's what happened. And so they were able to get him good enough to where he's going to be able to play through the regular season and the playoffs, and then however long, if we go to the finals, great, we win the finals. um but my concern though is that he still has that injury and it's just dormant. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
So you think that they
he,
put like NyQuil for the fever, like you know what I mean, like or
yeah,
like a
like they
band-aid over
basically
the
put like a
wound type
band-aid
thing?
over it. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
that's my concern, is that they just kind of bandaged the injury somehow, whatever, through some like, procedure or some, shot or something like that, some medicine. And maybe he's just taking these pills or something, or maybe he's like just getting shots before the games or something like that. Um, but my concern is like one wrong step, especially with the type of game he plays. He's a you know, physical, aggressive, to the basket type player. Um, and knock on wood,
well,
that's the
yeah. I mean,
last thing we need. That's the last thing we need, is him to get hurt. But
I
it,
know his age; he's still trying to chase down blocks
yeah,
and stuff. I mean, like,
well, and it's concerning because you have Anthony Davis, who still has his injury. Now, I know a lot of people, try to point out, like, well, he said that he's not having any pain. He also said that he still has the injury. Yes, it doesn't hurt. Like, if you, broke your knee, but your knee doesn't hurt, that doesn't mean that it still doesn't that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, or that doesn't mean that you still don't have a fractured knee or something. Just
yeah,
because you have an injury that doesn't hurt, like, like I've like shaved one of the knuckles on my on my hand, and like I never got like surgery or anything with it on it, but like it never hurt. But that didn't mean that like it didn't exist. It didn't mean
yeah,
that like my hand wasn't still swollen, and that like my everything was just like messed up. Like, it still it still existed, but it didn't really hurt. It was like, a little nuisance, but it wasn't
yeah,
like in pain, or like, like you have a tooth injury, right? Or toothache. Like, I had a toothache, and I needed to get it fixed. I needed to get my tooth fixed, and eventually the pain went away, but I still needed to get my tooth fixed. It's not
yeah,
like the issue went away. It just, the pain stopped, whatever. Or I was able to take Tylenol and it made the pain stop, right? Like, stuff like that. Just because an injury doesn't hurt doesn't mean that injury isn't there. So that's my
exactly.
concern with AD. And then same thing with LeBron. You know, but I mean, look, LeBron is the epitome of athlete and, just specimen, right? The guy
Yeah,
went from needing season-ending surgery to like, oh, I'm on the court and I'm playing great in a matter of 6 weeks.
it's
When
that
people
medicine
didn't,
money can buy.
yeah, I mean, he puts millions into his body and stuff like that. So I'm not that worried about him. Like, I'm not as worried. Like Zach said, I'm more worried about AD than LeBron. Same thing. Like, I agree. I am more worried about AD than LeBron. But it's just concerning that your two best players are hurt, and then you have
Yeah,
D'Lo, who he's hurt. So your three guys are. Um, but I mean, look, the goal is to at least get to the seventh, eighth seed, which I think we can. Um, as tough of a loss as it was to the Bulls, I mean, we're still what, 12-7 in our last 19 games or something like that. Like,
yeah,
that's good. I mean, we're 5 games over 500 without LeBron, without AD, without D'Lo. With guys in and out of the lineup constantly. Like, that
yeah,
is really good. If we can get healthy, I still believe in this team. I still think this team can make some noise, but
yeah.
we got to get to that 7-8 spot. We have to, because if we don't, can we win 2 straight games? Yeah, of course. But it's just so hard, so challenging. The problem is you're seeing teams starting to pack it in, and that's not good for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like today, Portland is sitting like everybody. The Pacers were playing the Mavericks today, who the Mavericks have been on a free fall, and the Pacers sat everybody, right? Like all these teams are starting to just sit everybody, and so Lakers, we gotta start winning some games here. Granted, we're 3 out of our last 4. It's 1 loss. We play what? We play the Bulls, the Mavericks, the Celtics, or the Rockets, and then the Jazz.
Yeah.
That should be 4 wins. We should bounce back against the Bulls. We have to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. Have to.
Yeah. That.
So
Yeah.
so you beat that.
Hmm.
Rockets should be a gimme win, especially with LeBron, AD, and D'Lo. That should be a gimme win. And
Now
then
D'Lo
you
should be
have
back the
yeah,
Timberwolves game, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, D'Lo should
Yeah.
hopefully be back the Bulls game because he just has like hip soreness. So
Yeah.
probably like a week or 2 for him to heal, and he'll be back. Um, but so and then the Jazz are packing it in. So that should be 4 straight wins right there. Which now puts us 3 games over 500. And then at that point, you got 4 games that you just need to kind of weather the storm, or 3 games. Sorry, 3 games that you need to just weather the storm. You got the
Yeah.
Suns, the Clippers, and the Jazz again. I think we beat the Jazz the last game of the season, so there's 1 win. And can you at least split? Can you at least split the Suns and Clippers game? There you go.
Fair
You know,
enough. And considering that they didn't sit Paul or Booker that last game and we still won, I mean, yeah, I mean, a dub's a dub. So my thing is, during that last game with the Suns, they're still gonna they're probably gonna sit Paul, sit Booker. I think that Suns is more of a W than the Clippers. But I agree. I think one of those we may lose.
yeah. I mean, you gotta at least split it. But Clippers, I think, play everybody because the Clippers, they might be in a tough spot come the time we meet them. They might have to. But the Suns very likely are going to have the 4 seed locked up.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people feel otherwise, but I don't believe for a second that the Suns care more about beating the Lakers than they care about getting their guys healthy in the playoffs. I mean, Kevin Durant is already hurt and been out and has only played like a handful of games with this team. They're probably he's supposed to come back Wednesday. And if he comes back Wednesday, he'll play a handful of games, and then they'll probably have the 4 seed locked up, and then they'll end up, I think, very likely resting guys. They'll probably sit guys out because they'll
Yeah.
have the 4 seed locked up, which means they'll have home court in the first round. Why risk it? Why risk Kevin Durant getting hurt and now he misses the first round of the playoffs and now you get eliminated? Or why risk,
Well, yeah. No
Devin
rivalry at this
Booker.
point is you got to do what's best for the team. Rivalry, no rivalry, you know what I mean, or who wants to beat who. I think if you need to rest guys, you should rest them. And I don't know. Suns, to me, honest, I'm just gonna be honest with you. The Suns aren't looking good.
Yeah.
I don't think that they make it. Honestly, look at me like I'm crazy, but the Suns might be like a early playoff exit. I'm not convinced. I'm not. I am not
I,
convinced.
I'm not very big on I'm not very big on the Suns either. Like, look, are they going to be a tough out? Absolutely. Are they going to be a hard team to beat? Absolutely. Um, I'm not really like super concerned like with the Suns. Like I still think that they have a lot of holes and a lot of issues.
I was just gonna say
Um,
that yeah, a
I
smart
mean,
coach who can pick them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, I think we match up well against everybody, but I mean, we need help. We need guys healthy. Like LeBron needs to be healthy. His words about like potentially needing surgery or potentially getting surgery in the offseason, like that's a little concerning, right? Anthony Davis might have to have surgery in the offseason, right? So you got your 2 guys who very likely could need surgery in the offseason. That's rough. But as long as they're playing now, D'Lo coming back is going to help. D'Lo has been great playing off the ball for the Lakers this year, like really good playing off the ball.
yeah.
Now he's going to have LeBron, who's arguably the best point guard in the league, that he's going to be able to play off of. On top of his ability to score, shoot the ball, attack, score at all three levels, be able to play make for others. Last time we had this roster fully healthy, I mean, D'Lo and LeBron were running the pick and roll together, and it was butter. I mean, they were killing Golden State in that pick and roll. And same thing with AD. So I look at our schedule. We have 7 games. We have to go at least 5-2 in this 7 games. If we beat the Bulls and the Timberwolves, which is a lot, but if we beat the Bulls and the Timberwolves, I think we might go 6-1. I really do. I think we either lose to one of those two teams, we either lose to the Bulls and the Timberwolves, and we go 5-2, or we end up beating both of them and we go 6-1. Because I think if we beat the Bulls and the Timberwolves, the next 2 games are the Rockets, which should be a gimme win, and the Jazz, which the Jazz are packing it up. And even if they don't pack it up, that should still be a win. So there's 4 straight right there. And now you only have 3 games left. And again, it's the Jazz, the Bulls, and the Clippers. So I think you beat the Jazz the last game. That gives you 2 games left, in which I think at worst you split them. Because I don't think they'll lose to both of them. I mean, could they? Maybe. But I think they'll at least split those games. And then that would put them at 6-1, which that would put them 5 games over 4. If they get to 44 wins, I think they might be the 6th seed. I really do. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, how this goes.
No, definitely, because like I said, that Timberwolves game, I have a strong feeling that the Timberwolves game is the hardest game on the schedule for the rest of the season. Like,
it might be the most important game on the schedule the rest of the season, because, like I said, the Jazz.
I think they're really going to be tested. Like, they're really going to be yeah.
Well, because like I said, the Jazz look like they're packing it in. Not only do they look like they're packing it in, but the Jazz also have like a bunch of tough games coming up, right? So they might not even be in the conversation anymore by the time we play them. So the Clippers game might be very important depending on where the Clippers are. But we wouldn't have the tiebreaker regardless. So the only way the Clippers game would be like impactful outside of like we want to beat the Clippers every time we play them, right? Outside of that, the only way that game will be impactful is if we both have the same record by the time we play each other.
That's true.
Because if we both have the same record by the time we play each other, then yes, that game becomes very valuable because the winner would be 1 full game ahead with only 2 games left, right?
Yeah.
Or how many games? Yeah, with 2 games left. So if they end up having the same record, then that's where that game becomes impactful. If they don't, like if the Clippers are a game ahead, then that game's not going to matter. Because if they finish with the same record, then the Clippers get the nod anyway. So the only real must win, granted, again, they're all at this point must wins, but the only one that could have like significant implications is the Timberwolves game. So like if we lose to the Bulls again, it's gonna suck because now we're back to 2 games under 500. But it's not like it's not season ending bad, right? It's not like that's it. We might only best case get the 9th or 10th seed. If we lose to Minnesota, that could be the case. Like we might end up like that could be the difference between us getting the 9th and 10th and the 7th and 8th. So we have to show up against Minnesota for sure, at the very least.
Yes, I would definitely agree. Yeah, and they're gonna be fighting, man. That that might be game of the season right there.
Because both teams really need it. Like both teams are going to need that game tremendously. But also, Richard, who first off, welcome, Richard. He said he's new to the show. which we appreciate you. Thank you so much for popping here. If you haven't subscribed, take a second to subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Anybody that's watching, if you're not subscribed. I know most of you are, if not all of you. Everyone I'm seeing is subscribed here, and also to my channel, As It Stands Lakers. I'd greatly appreciate that too, Richard, if you're not. But this is another point that I wanted to talk about, which is I think LeBron coming back took away valuable minutes from guys that were producing. I don't necessarily know if it took away valuable minutes from guys that were producing so much, because I mean, LeBron's still the ultimate producer, right?
Yeah.
Like none of those guys were producing more than that. But what I do think it did is, I think the suddenness of it threw everything off. And so, like, a lot of people were like, what was Darvin Ham's plan in this game? He might have not have had one, because as soon as LeBron said, oh, I'm here, I'm going to play tonight, his plan went out the window, because all the way up until literally the game started,
Yeah.
the idea was that LeBron was not going to play. And now you go from LeBron is not going to play to all of a sudden, oh, LeBron is playing. That changes everything. And then it's like, okay, well, he's going to come off the bench. And then you saw moments that we didn't really have. Like you saw a couple moments in this game where people kind of resorted back to, oh, LeBron's on the court. Let LeBron do LeBron, rather than, playing within the team.
Yeah.
And so I just think it threw everything from a loop standpoint. I think, like, one, like I said, it probably messed up any game plan that they had. You're also trying to incorporate LeBron and allow him to kind of get adjusted and get into his rhythm and stuff, which he, it's his first game back. It's going to be tough. I just think it sort of changed the dynamic of this team, because I had people ask me in the post game stream when they were like, do I think that if LeBron didn't play that we would have, won this game or played better? I don't know if we would have won the game just the way that the Bulls played, but we may have played better because guys would have stepped up that we've seen stepping up, and guys would have maybe played bigger roles, bigger moments. Maybe AD would have gotten in rhythm quicker because LeBron wasn't playing. So they might have looked to get AD involved more early on, so that maybe he would have had a better game and been more impactful. Like, there's a lot that could have changed with LeBron not in that game. Again, I'm not saying that we are better without LeBron, because I saw a lot of people say that, like, oh, I think we are nowhere near as good without LeBron as we are with LeBron. I mean, that game, the Bulls game alone showed that. we were a +4 with LeBron on the court and a minus 19 when he was off. So LeBron by himself had a huge impact in that game. But what it does do is it just, again, it threw everybody off. It made everything really just different, because if you're whoever, if you're Rui, you're thinking, all right, I'm going to get big minutes. I need to have a big game. I need to come in and give 15 points. And then LeBron comes in and it's like, okay, well, you're not going to play tonight. He had a DNP. So it's like, okay, well, there goes that, right? Austin Reeves. Okay, I got to play make. I got to go get 25 and 10.
I know, just coming off 2 big nights, like
I came off of a bad game. I need to bounce back. Let's do this. Oh, LeBron's playing. You're going to start, but you're going to be playing off the ball more next to LeBron. Okay, cool. Right? Like, it changes everything. Right. And then guys also, again, they want to allow LeBron to get in his rhythm, which is why, again, I am glad that it was this Bulls game than, say, the Timberwolves game or the Clippers game or something like that, because you got that bad game out of the way. You had the rough game. LeBron, you were trying to figure it out. It was rough. It looked ugly. You got that out of the way. Now you have 3 days to get a couple scrimmages in, get a couple practices in, just get in the flow. And then LeBron can kind of continue to work out, get his legs back under him. And then now he's ready to go for this Bulls game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we beat this Bulls team by double digits at home. I think we beat Chicago by 10 plus points. And look, I said we needed to go 4-1. or I said I wanted us to go 4-1 on this homestand, and that that 3-2 was the absolute minimum. We couldn't be worse than 3-2 at home. We finished 3-2 at home. That's good, right? So there we go. There's 3-2. Now we should have finished 4-1, but that's neither here nor there. So we finished 3-2. Same thing with this road trip. We got a 5-game road trip. We got to go 4-1 on this road trip. We do. We have to, and we can. I mean, again, you got the Bulls, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, and the Jazz, and then the Clippers. The Clippers is technically a home game, right? Yes, we're considered the road team, but it's in LA. It's in Staples Center. So
exactly,
we have 4 games on the road. We need to win all 4 of those games. We have to. We win all 4 of those games. I have no doubt in my mind we're at least the 7th or 8th seed. At least. We may even, depending on how those last 3 games go, we may even get the 6th seed. But I think if we go 4-0 over our next 4 games, I think we'll be bare minimum the 7th, 8th seed. Bare minimum. If we go 3-2, I still think we can get the 7th, 8th seed. I just think that just makes those last 3 games that much more important. If we end up going 2-2, I think we might be in trouble. So we have to at worst go, 3-1 in these next 4 games. But I want to go 4-0. If we go 4-0, I have all the confidence in the world. I do not see us not making the 7th or 8th seed.
Well, yeah, because those last 3 games, like you said, Clippers are technically a home game.
Home game, yeah.
But then you
Suns might sit everybody.
And you got the Suns at home. They might sit everybody. You got the Jazz, which at this point is like null and void. You know what I mean? I just don't think that the Jazz are going to be too much of an issue.
Especially that last game, they're going to want to get a draft pick. I mean, they already are. Yeah. They're already starting to sit guys that were supposed to come back are all of a sudden not coming back and having setbacks. They're packing it in. So, I mean, out of these next 7 games, you have 1, 2, 3. You have 3 games at least out of these next 7. You have 3 games that are, without a doubt, extremely winnable. And that's both Jazz games and the Rockets game. You basically have 3 tanking teams. So you basically have 3 what should be gimme games. 3 gimme games. So now between those 3, so you win those 3 gimme games, all you have to do is just go 2-2 in those 4 other games. That's it. Win the 3 gimme games and just go 2-2. You have to beat Minnesota though. You have to.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't. But that's the only thing though. You got to go at least go 2-2. But one of those wins has to be Minnesota. Yeah.
If you have to lose a game, lose to Chicago and beat Minnesota. Yeah. Right?
Lose to Chicago, maybe lose to the Clippers, but don't.
Yeah. Whatever. But you have to beat Minnesota. Beat Minnesota. If you beat Minnesota, that's good. Now, I will say though, if we go 6-1 and our only loss is Minnesota, then I don't think it'll matter. So if we lose to Minnesota, that has to be our only loss. Because if we lose to Minnesota and then we lose to Phoenix and the Clippers, then I think we're screwed. But I think if we lose to Minnesota, if we beat Chicago, lose to Minnesota, and then we go on a 5-game winning streak after that loss to Minnesota, then in that case, I think we'll be fine. But you do have the Suns and the Clippers, and the Clippers are going to be trying to play. Now, the Clippers won't have Paul George, so that should be helpful. But you know Russell Westbrook is going to want to show up that game. And I would not be shocked.
Paul George, I hate to hear it.
Yeah, Paul George, it sucks. It sucks. Poor guy, man.
Just because he already went through that earlier in his career, you know what I mean? It's just
I mean, that injury looked bad. I'm surprised he's only out for this.
You talking about this one or his first one?
No, this one. I'm not. His first one was just. Horrific. This one, the one that is going to cost him the rest of this season. I mean, he should be back for the playoffs at some point. But the one that got him out for the rest of this season. I thought that was he's going to need surgery. He just tore his ACL or something like that. Like that's what that looked like. He's
Yeah.
lucky that it wasn't that bad, which is good. I'm happy for him. Well, not happy he got injured, but I'm happy that it wasn't as severe as it could have been. But but yeah, I mean, the Clippers game, bare minimum, Russell Westbrook's going to play, and
And
Russell Westbrook. He's probably
he's gonna try to
that'll
show
probably be
up.
the one
Yeah.
game. That'll probably be the one game he has like a 40-point triple
Yo,
double.
I'm telling you, I guarantee you that game. You know what we're about to see? We're about to see like OKC Russell like flying through the rim and just like tomahawking, like ducking on everybody.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
he's gonna.
I'm
Dude,
telling you.
I'm telling.
He's about to be
get
trying to
that
duck on
game,
AD. He's about to be
when he ends up when we end up playing the Clippers, whatever his point total is, I'm taking that over. I am betting because his point total will probably only be like 12 or 15. I'm taking that over, like without a doubt, because that'll be the one game all year that he scores like 30 points. Like that'll be the one game. But it's just
man.
you
Yeah,
just know he's gonna show up for that game, and the
he's gonna get a
Clippers are
triple double. And yeah.
yeah,
I'm
he's going to have
sorry.
like a 30, 15, and 15 game just because it's the Lakers. Especially if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George don't play that game, then he for sure is probably going to get like a 30-point triple-double.
Yo,
But
here's the thing though. Here's what's funny about what you just said. If he goes crazy and gets like a 40, 15, and 15 or something like that, I guarantee you they lose. I guarantee you the Clippers lose a game.
probably.
Now, if he goes like maybe 25 and like whatever, it doesn't matter what the others, but like let's say he scores 25 points and gets his like teammates more involved or whatever, depending on like where they place him, depending on how much Russ has the ball, I will guarantee you that will let me know if they're going to win the game or not. If like Russ is every play up and down the court, I guarantee you they lose that game. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's the Westbrook.
Of course, it's the Westbrook effect. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, regardless, we have to start rattling off some wins here. Like I said, we got 7 games. We have to go 5-2. At least, I'd like to go 6-1. I would.
Hey, I have a question. How do you feel about that
yeah.
Suns game being like a guarantee, like almost a for sure win, like a gimme win? Like, it seems like the more I look at that game, I'm like, because now granted they don't play Booker, they don't play their guys. I can't see us losing that game.
I mean, I think we could still beat them, even if everybody plays. Like I'm not saying like that. Like if
Durant
plays,
included. I mean, I know Durant won't
like
play
even
for
if
that
Durant
game, but
plays, like I believe we can beat them. Like because they still don't have depth. They still don't have defense. Like Kevin Durant
I believe we can beat them in a 7-game series, but
down.
in a random game like that, I don't. I don't know.
I think we can beat them that game. But my only thing is that like if they just sit, let's say Chris Paul and Kevin Durant, I still think we could lose that game to the Suns, right? But if they sit everybody, then yes, I think it's a gimme game. Like if they sit Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, then I think that's another gimme game. I think then there's your 4 wins, and now you only have to beat either the Bulls or Mini, right? There you go.
Yeah.
But I will say, I mean, you can make an argument though if they sit Chris Paul, that might actually be worse for the Lakers because Cameron Payne, man, he loves to play against the Lakers. He balls out every time he plays the Lakers. That dude is just lights out.
Yeah,
and he's harder for our guards to guard than Chris Paul is. Like we were doing a pretty good job against Chris Paul. He had a couple moments here and there, but for the most part, we were able to hold our own because he's just not the same Chris Paul he once was. But I just think regardless, I think it'll be interesting to see how that goes there. Again, I really think
I would like to say we contain Booker too, but with 33, 5, and 6, I don't know how much containment.
We made things really hard for him. Most of his points came when Schroeder was guarding him because he was just too small. So like Booker just backed him down and would just go over him. But I don't know. I just we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because like I said, it
Yeah.
depends on where the
They're
Suns
not
are.
deep at all.
They're not at all. But like I said, it depends on where the Suns are. Because again, if the Suns have have the 4 seed locked up, then I won't be shocked if they just sit everybody at all. Uh, because again, there's no way they care more about beating the Lakers than they do about getting into the playoffs. The Lakers might not even have to face the Lakers in the playoffs. So like, why would they be worried about something that may or may not happen? Because even if the Lakers get into the playoffs, they're going to have to play one of the top 3 teams. So if you're Phoenix, you're looking at it as like, we don't like if we even face the Lakers, we're not going to face them until the second round. At worst, maybe not until the Western Finals. And at that point, we might have everything worked out. We might be the best team in the league at that point, right? Like, so
Is it crazy that I want to see Denver in the first round just because I feel like we got it. I just don't. I feel like no matter when we like see Denver, I'd rather see Denver earlier than later. Like I don't
really,
want to see Denver.
I actually feel the opposite. I'd rather see Denver in the second round than the first round.
Okay.
Because I think we always seem to have Denver's number. I think we match up arguably better than any team in the league against Denver. But Denver's been together. Denver's a well-oiled machine. Denver has already know, everyone knows their role. Everyone knows what they're doing. Like, it's a lot different than like the Lakers, who are still trying to figure it out, still trying to build chemistry. What's D'Lo's role going to be now that LeBron's back? How does everyone look, right? There's still a lot of questions with the Lakers. But I mean, look, I'm not like, I'll take all the smoke. Like, give me everybody. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. Like, I'm willing to go Denver. Let's go Denver, Phoenix, and the Clippers fully healthy in the first round. There are in the Western Conference, right? Boom. Now we beat the best team. We beat the team that everyone thinks is the best team, and we beat the team that seems to always have our number in the Clippers, right? Let's do that. I want that, and then give us Milwaukee. Let's smack Milwaukee and win a championship, right? Because then what is anybody going to say? They're not going to have anything to say if we do that. Now, will we? I don't know, but I'm saying, like, if we do, those are give me all the smoke. Let's do it. Like, let's go through it, because you're going to have to beat those guys anyway.
He wants all the smoke.
Yeah, and here's another thing to the Suns resting guys. The Suns very likely might end up having to play the Warriors in the first round. Do you
I
think
could see that.
Do you think that Phoenix is more worried about playing the Warriors in the first round or beating the Lakers in a regular season game? Like, again, I really think the Suns, if they have the 4 seed already locked up, which very likely they will, if they do, I don't think that they're going to care about, we have to beat the Lakers, right? I think they're going to care. I think they're going to look at it as like, we're probably playing the Warriors and we have to beat them. So let's get it, right? Because, I mean, the Warriors have an easier schedule than the Clippers and the Warriors, I think, have 6 games left. And the Warriors, like 3 of those games are at home. And only one of those games are against a team like the Kings. They play the Kings on the road, but the Kings will probably sit everybody because they're going to have the 2 or 3 seed locked up by then. So they'll probably sit everybody. The only game that's on the road that they're going to have a hard time with is Denver. Outside of that, their road games should be wins. Like, the Warriors might only lose 1 or 2 games the rest of the season. And where the Clippers,
they've been playing. They've been playing.
Well, and the Clippers have a tough schedule. The Clippers probably lose another 3 at least. So if that's the case, then the Warriors are probably going to be the 5 seed, and then you're going to have a Suns Warriors matchup in the first round, which I just think the Suns are going to be more worried about that than they are playing the Lakers in the third to last game of the season.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be, or even if they have to play the Clippers, right? If Paul George comes back for that first round, the Clippers might match up to the Suns better than any team in the league, because they have the Clippers have nothing but giant wings to throw at everybody. They're going to put Kawhi Leonard on Kevin Durant for a 7-game series. So Kawhi Leonard's going to guard KD that entire series. and they'll probably put Paul George on Devin Booker. That's going to be tough for the Suns, right? Like that's going to be very tough for the Suns. So, and then if you're the Clippers, like we've seen Westbrook just manhandle Chris Paul on numerous occasions. So, I mean, and the Suns, Ayton isn't a rim protector. They don't have rim protection. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers smacked them in a 7-game series because the Clippers have the depth. Not only do they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to match up to Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, but they also have like Covington and like a bunch of several guys that are sizable wings. They're going to be able to throw 3 or 4 guys at Kevin Durant. They're going to be able to throw 3 or 4 guys at Devin Booker.
Like we said, depth wins championships, and I do agree with you. Like you run up against the deepest team in the league, which is the Clippers. I don't think we're gonna like debate about that. I would say so. I don't know about you, but I would say they're the deepest team in the league at this current moment. I mean, it's close, but you go up against the deepest team in the league, and like you got Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Devin Booker. I don't know. I think you're right. I think that's where the Suns are gonna run into like some trouble. How? Just out of curiosity, how worried are you about seeing like the Pelicans or the Timberwolves in like a in the play-in?
I'm not in a play-in game. I'm not, because in a play-in game,
the Pelicans I'm not worried about. It's that Timberwolves. If we have to face them, like you know what I mean.
The Timberwolves would be
on
tough.
A back-to-back. Like let's say we get to the 8th seed and they're the second game we play. Like
if we finished the 9-10.
Sorry, yeah.
Finished in the 9-10. If we finish 9-10, I still think we make the playoffs. I just don't think we win the first round is my problem, because we'd have to win 6 straight games rather than 4, or well, not straight, but it just makes things so much tougher. Now, let's say we're the 7th, 8th seed with the Timberwolves, I think we smack the Timberwolves in that play-in game.
Yeah.
My only concern is the Timberwolves size, right? Because like Rudy Gobert is going to be tough for AD, and then LeBron's going to have to guard Towns, which Towns has a sizable size advantage. So that's my only concern. But I think the Lakers as a whole are better. And you don't think that if we get into a play-in game, you don't think that D'Lo, Beasley, and Vanderbilt are not going to want to smack the Timberwolves? Of course they will, right? And D'Lo, you got to remember, D'Lo didn't play the last Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
So he's probably I have that Timberwolves game. I keep looking back because I have all the games listed on my whiteboard. I have that Timberwolves game circled. I think that might be D'Lo's best game of the season, because he was talking all kinds of shit about the Timberwolves and Rudy Gobert while he was on the team. Okay, I think that's the game he balls out. But if we play Minnie in the playoffs or in the play-in, in the first round of the play-in, I think the Lakers smack them. I really do. I think Rudy Gobert will be a bit of a challenge, and I think Towns will be a little bit of a challenge. But
see, in a 7-game series, I'm not too concerned. But in a play-in game, like just
it's
because
only
they're
one
very
game,
just because they're very scrappy, like I feel like it'll be tough. That's why I'm so antsy about this Timberwolves game coming up. Like I think we're gonna smack them, but like I'm just antsy because I know it's gonna be like a really like entertaining, like it's gonna be a game.
Well, the problem is that
remember the Milwaukee game we had like earlier on in the season? That's what I feel like this game is gonna be, something like that.
Just that scrappy back and forth game. Yeah, I mean I can see
that.
Like I just I think this upcoming Timberwolves game is going to be very interesting. Like I said, I think it'll have huge implications. But I mean, the sad thing is, whether we win or lose, we still might end up having to play them in the play-in. Like even if we win it, still might end up having it.
That part.
I mean, we're very likely going to finish in the 7th, 8th seed, and so will they. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to say the least. But all right, here let's dive into the chat for the last 10 minutes, and then we'll get on out of here. So I hope Ham makes the Bulls match up to us and not match them next game. He gave them what they wanted. Yeah, I felt like that too a little bit. We just got to play a better game in general. What's going on, Ghostface Fanatic? Appreciate you being here. My team
What's
is the Bulls.
up?
You guys got a solid win. You guys got a solid win. What's going on, Joey? I don't remember the game because I was drunk. I feel that. I feel that. Our Lakers guards are finesse guards. Yeah, they are. But I mean, we have some of the best guard play in the league. So, like as far as like front to back, um, my Bulls suck. I'll be honest. They've been a lot better, man. They've won like 7 out of the last 9 or something like that. They've been pretty solid so far. They struggle mightily to do anything against teams with intense perimeter ball defenders. Talking about the Lakers, yeah, the Lakers have struggled with perimeter defense, especially on our guard play. Uh, oh, what's going on, Wayne? Appreciate you being here. It's 1:11 p.m. Yes, you are a time traveler of the future, but we appreciate you being here. The Bulls ain't all that great, but they do have some talented players. Zach LaVine is a pretty good player. Dude, the Bulls definitely have some talented players. I think the Bulls need to just blow it up. They should have done that earlier. They should just blow it up in the offseason because they probably get some good stuff, especially for LaVine. The New York Knicks,
I would take Zach. I would take Zach in a heartbeat.
the Knicks already like there were reports earlier that the Knicks would give a Godfather package is I believe the word that they used a Godfather package for Zach LaVine. So if that's the case, if I'm the Bulls, I would just take that. Get you know 5 first round draft picks and because I mean the Knicks were willing to give up the farm for Donovan Mitchell and they missed out on that. They might give you as good of a package. Like if you can you get like RJ Barrett and like 3 firsts for Zach LaVine? If you could get
Hey,
that, if you were Chicago, I would do that immediately.
yeah,
Um, and then trade DeMar DeRozan for whatever you can get. Like trade DeMar DeRozan for whatever. Whatever you like. I said, whatever you can get.
that's another
Um,
one of those teams that should work on paper, but it just
yeah, it
yeah.
just they just the problem is they have no defense and they don't have anyone to put it together. Like it sucks that that Lonzo Ball um, got hurt because like that was the idea. We have all these guys, and then you get that pass first point guard and Lonzo Ball who can put it all together. Like Lonzo getting hurt, I think just ruined this team from doing anything because now they don't have that guy. Um, but Lakers will be fine. LeBron is back. They will be fine that next year. Yeah, we'll be okay. I'm not worried about it. We'll be golden. We'll be golden again soon. Hey, you can never count the Warriors though. That's for sure. Uh, Indiana, sell Mavs. The game tonight. All 5 starters out for Indiana. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of teams starting to pack it in, which sucks. But um, we need D'Lo bad. Offense runs better with him passing and not Dennis Schroeder dribbling. Agreed. Agreed. Need another ghost face killer effect. Um, Lakers will not win against the Timberwolves. They are athletic, tall, and long as hell, and they shoot 3 ball better than the Lakers. I mean they do shoot. I mean most teams shoot the 3 ball better than the Lakers, but I still not really that worried about the Timberwolves. But we'll see. Um, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, we do match up against the Warriors. Do you miss Russell Westbrook? Do I miss him? No, not with this new team. Do I still like him? Yeah. I mean, he's still a great player. Um, they ain't playing PG-13 though. We got to go 5-2 for the 5-8 seed. Yeah, agreed. Got to go 5-2. I like I said, if we beat the Bulls and the Timberwolves, I think we go 6-1. I really do. If we beat the Bulls and Timberwolves, I think we go 6-1.
Yeah.
Um, but new. Oh, I already got that. Yeah. Again, Richard, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Welcome aboard. Um, the uncertainty of sports. Yes, facts. Lakers need to beat the Clippers. Agreed. It would be nice. We got to smack them. Like I said, gotta if we could sweep the board the rest of the way. Can we go on our first 7-0 win streak? That would be nice. Break the losing streak. Got to. Well, don't start a losing streak. We're not on a losing streak yet. We've only lost 1 game, so let's do that. How's Eddie's finger? He better play at the Bulls. Yeah, he's supposed to be playing against the Bulls. I'm sure he'll be all right. Yeah, 80's supposed to play. 80 wants his revenge. Yes. 0-7 Lakers to end the season. That ain't gonna happen, Wayne. Don't worry. I know you're gonna be very disappointed. Minnie is playing good ball right now. Um, that's true. Good point. And Ham doesn't seem to be able to adjust as well on the fly. He does in certain matchups and certain like I don't know. I feel like LeBron threw everything off a little bit. Again, not that there's nothing to do with LeBron. I mean, LeBron needs to play. But I just think that you know, again, nobody was really playing great. Like, what was he supposed to do? I mean, yeah, you could have played Rui, but Rui wasn't gonna help defensively. Our problem was he couldn't stop Chicago. Like
Yeah.
we shot like 58% from the field or whatever it was. So like offensively we were fine. It was just defensively we couldn't stop them to save our lives.
Question
Um,
though, how much of that do you actually put on the team though? Just because, like, okay, so LeBron coming back, I know I've been a little tough on LeBron in terms of like making the team adjust to him when I feel like it should be the other way around at this point. But this last game, just because of guys kind of came into their own without LeBron, getting hot, getting warm, and things like that. So if you're the rest of the team, don't you just? I mean, obviously AD is going to be AD. He's going to have off nights and stuff like that. But like, if you're like AR, those guys, Vanderbilt, don't you just really like? All right, look, we're gonna get warm. Like LeBron, you fit in where you fit in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't default because the minute you default, the minute I guess you're backtracking, and then you're just taking a step back. You know what I mean? Like you're elevating your level of play, but then, and I feel like that happens with like Troy Brown a lot. Like, he has to like elevate because certain guys are out, but then once those guys come back, it just kind of it shrinks and minimizes to their lesser version of themselves.
yeah,
And
because
I
I mean they
hate
kind
and
of
I
resort back to they
well,
will
yeah, and I
resort
hate
back
to
to
see it.
I
Like
mean,
he's the greatest player if he's sorry, he's one of the greatest players of all time. So it's like he'll find his way into the game somehow, some way. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, he needs to be all right, like first decision. You know what I mean? He's just coming off of an injury. So in my mind, like, hey, like let these guys get hot. Like, hey, look, AR go cook Vanderbilt cook. You know what I mean? Just like get out there. But it's you know what I mean? It's weird, and it just doesn't feel like I feel like they're almost operating backwards.
yeah. I mean the problem is that like role guys are role guys for a reason, right? So you're always going to have that sort of default with guys in general, right? Because you're going to have guys that are going to want to, they step up and play bigger in other roles, but at the end of the day, they are role guys, right? So you're always going to have the star be the star. If that makes sense. Like the star is always he's gonna gravitate, and not just that, but like if you're a role guy, um, and you have a bad night and you're just trying to take away from the star. Like it's one thing if like
No,
Troy,
I'm not saying
like
like a
let's say,
bad night, but I'm saying like if they're having a good night, just let them go. And
I
like
mean,
because
yeah,
like
let them cook if they're
and we are
cooking. Yeah,
talking about like an older LeBron, like getting close to retirement LeBron. So it's like okay, if we were talking like I don't know, prime Kobe, prime Kyrie, obviously yes, you move out the way. Like they're gonna come back and be just fine. But we're talking about an older LeBron just coming back from injury. We need to reserve him for the playoffs anyway. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just
but
like let
you need to
him.
get him going though
That's
too.
true too. That's true. In the same
Like
breath,
that's
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 true
the thing
too.
because the problem is like if you just like let's say LeBron just kind of comes in and just kind of be is a role guy until
Yeah.
until the playoffs. He's got to try to go from that to like immediately being back to old because you need LeBron James to be LeBron James come the playoffs. Like Troy Brown isn't winning you a playoff series. LeBron James is winning
Yeah.
you a playoff series.
No.
Right? Like that's the difference. So you got to kind of take the good with the bad. And I mean it was one game. It'll probably take like I said, it'll probably take a game or two to really kind of get back to where they need to be. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean time will tell. Off topic. How Nike signed Michael Jordan looks like an interesting movie. A real slasher to the basket. Yeah, I actually want to see that.
Yes, it looks really
Uh,
good. Hey, you know what's
yeah,
crazy though? Like, I mean, I don't want to spoil. I haven't seen it, but rumors say that they're not. So Michael will not be in the movie. Like, there'll be nobody playing
yeah, it's
Michael
about the his
because
mom and
exactly, it's like less focus on necessarily Michael and more about like Nike Air. So it's like, yeah, but I still want to see the movie. The movie actually looks very good.
I do too. I'm with you. On another note, Beasley is very hot and cold, but we need him at the very least. Hit his wide open shots. Yeah, I mean he is. I mean he's a volume shooter. Usually volume guys are streaky. But I think once LeBron and D'Lo play together with him, that'll help him tremendously. That really will. Um, but winnable games can be tough because expectations is high. I mean, any game winnable games can still be lost. I mean, the Rockets beat us. The Rockets beat the Celtics fully healthy, right? Like on any given night, guys get hot, have a good game, but those are games that the Lakers should win. Lakers need a real big this front office plan. The problem is they're not going to get one at this point. May have changed teams, but he still can't shoot. No, of course not. He's changed teams, but he hasn't changed his player. I can't believe we haven't signed a center nor the open rush spot. It's killing on the boards. Yeah, I wish we would have gotten a center. I just don't see it now. That's not happening. They play in the Lakers. Sons and daughters. Lakers is okay. Long as coach do the right thing. Ham is a gamble. I think Ham's been fine for the most part. He's had his moments here and there, but I think for the most part, since we've gotten the new roster, he's been good. You got to keep in mind, like Ham has been dealing with inconsistencies, roster changes, guys coming in and out, nobody staying healthy. I mean, the guy has had like no consistency with his roster at all. I mean, we were on pace to break the record for most individual starting lineups in league history. And it wasn't because Darvin Ham was experimenting. No, it was because guys couldn't stay healthy, right? Like we were small. I mean, it's been a mess this year for the guy. And I think the guy, all considered, has done a very good job considering.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone wants to beat the Lakers. Suns are smacking the Jazz now, which is good. So that's good. So Suns a totally different team at Wayne. Yeah. Golden State will beat the Suns in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. That's going to be if they end up playing each other. That's going to be a fun matchup. I actually want that to happen. I want them to play each other. Pelicans have tough 7 games in a row after their 5-game cakewalk. Yeah, Pelicans have a tough schedule coming up. Pelicans might not win another game the rest of the season after today.
That would be nice.
See. Yeah. I never got on the Covington wagon. He got overhyped and overpaid. Yeah, I mean, he did get overhyped and overpaid. He had like one really, really good season. And then outside of that, like he's just been average. But still, I mean, he's still a good defender, which is the point. It's just throwing bodies at Kevin Durant. D'Lo from the nation of domination. Yeah, D'Lo will be great for the Lakers. Yeah, Pelicans better enjoy this win against Portland because they have a tough schedule coming up. Shout out to fellow Aussie Xavier Cook. Recently signed a new signing with the Washington Wizards back-to-back champs in Oz League and reigning MVP here. Yeah, Xavier Cook is going to be cooking. But Ben Simmons' dad, an American that played ball here in Australia, and his mom, Aussie born, grew up here, went to high school, etc. USA taught him how not to shoot. I think Lakers will win the championship next season. We will get a franchise player next season for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we add some players. I could see us like making some adjustments to the roster. We won the chip because Braun and AD were first and second. Were first, second, third, and fourth options. The rest spotted up and played D. That's what we need again. Yeah, but I mean, at this point, you probably don't want LeBron and AD to be first, second, third, fourth option, right? Like,
absolutely not.
They had to, I mean, LeBron was also, 3 years younger, and it was just AD was like had like a magical year in general, like health wise and everything. Like you don't want to have that much pressure, but I mean, you are right, Zach. I mean, their third best player all season was KCP. KCP was like their third guy, right? And then playoff Rondo had some like amazing moment stuff, but like I think it's nice that they have like D'Lo and Beasley. I mean, Beasley can get hot and win a game by himself, right? Like you have multiple guys that can get the job done, which I think really helps. But anyway, in Blucka, appreciate you, Blucka. Thanks for being here. But any parting words before we get on out of here?
I will. We need a revenge against the Bulls, and I'm calling it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
All right. Final predictions. Do you think we go? Because we won't have another stream until after the Bulls game. So, final predictions. Do you think we go 5-2, 6-1, 7-0, 4-3, 4-3? What do you think we do? What do you think happens?
5-2.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. I'm with you. I think we go 5-2. I think we go 5-2. Like I said, if we beat the Bulls and we beat the Timberwolves, then I think we go 6-1 at least. At worst, 6-1. But I think 5-2 is most realistic. That's probably my thoughts as far as that goes. But we need to get D'Lo back. We need to figure this out. We need to get everything up and running and be good. But that being said, again, thank you all so very much for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't liked the video, take a quick second, hit that like button on your way out, hit that subscribe button on your way out. If you're not subscribed, we'd greatly appreciate it.